everybody! Today we built underwater bases. I'll show them to you now, so let's run to the lake. My base is very rich, and I have been building it for a very long time. Ho-ho! Now I'm going to give you a tour and show you everything carefully. Huh? A piece of my base I've already shown, but now, come on, let's go inside and I'll show you everything there is in principle. There is enough. Ho-ho! This is the steep entrance that greets us, but you can even see from the water where they need to go where my entrance is, so let's go here and go in and see what's inside. Well, this is roughly what it looks like inside my base. Here you can notice a big window which is in the water. I can observe what is going on in general. Also, there is a small table, of course chairs, a bed, and a laptop. I can also say that I have a kitchen where I can make myself something to eat. I thought I had the best base ever. Ho-ho! But while I have some free time, I'll sit down and play on my laptop. And then I'll get down to business.
Yep, now I'm going to show you my base. Woohoo! I basically think I have the best one, and I don't know how it can look even better than the base. So we're going to go. Now I'll show you everything that's in there and what it looks like. But before we go in there, I will explain that I have it not in the water, but near the water. So I think that it is considered a water base. So in any case, it is the best. I tried very hard when I built it. Woohoo! Here's the entrance to the best base. Let's go inside and I'll show you what's inside. Yep. We have such a wonderful and beautiful entrance, and there is also a staircase that leads us inside my base here. Of course, a little bit of cobwebs, but it's nothing bad, just I'll remove it later and that's it. But for now, it does not bother me. And in principle, I am satisfied with everything. Here, I have a couple of chests where I can put something. I also have a mini cot, and of course, a beautifully large window that is in the water. That's why I'm fine with it. I think it's the best base in the world.
Ho-ho! We need to get resources. Therefore, in order for it to be a lot of resources, we need to go to the mine that is nearby. For this, I will now take a pickaxe, and in principle, I do not need anything else. For one pickaxe is enough to be me. Enough resources that I will have enough in the future because I have a plan that you will soon find out. Huh? Now, I'm heading towards the nearest mine, which we kind of have nearby. In general, I need to mine a lot of land, which I will need in the future to build something about which you will learn later. Here is just the first iron I need to mine a lot of it, because I have such a grand plan in which I just need so many resources. Also, I want to take into account the fact that basically I need only iron, and in order to melt it down, and accordingly that I have the usual ingots of iron, they will be useful to me in order for me to be able to safely scrap block iron. And it is a block I do not need these ingots. I'll spend you yourself blocks so that in the future, they will help me to build something. Ho-ho! Wow, that's a lot of iron. In fact, it's very good that in this mine I am so lucky and get a lot of iron. Because in fact, I thought that I would be stuck here for a very long time. Because iron, it is to me such a frequent resource that can meet, and taking into account the volume of how much I needed would be generally problematic. But nothing, I will definitely manage for everything, and in any case, I will get as much as I need, and only then I will go back to my base. Huh? It can also be noted that accordingly, I also mined coal. I need it for a reason. I need it in order to use it to melt all the iron that I forgot, because if I do not have the right amount of coal, or I would not have mined it at all, then accordingly, I would have no way to melt iron. There is certainly one option, but it is very long and involves ordinary wood. Ho-ho! Here we are back at the base! Now, I will add up all that I have got and also take from another box spikes in order to make fun of Mikey very much, because I have plans to prank him specifically. But for this, I need to get quietly to his base and make a small trap on which will fall on, and we will all together watch and laugh at him. That's exactly what I'm doing now, and move towards his base. My plan is that I need to carefully. While he does not see, or there is something busy to dig a small ditch around his entrance, then I still think there I'll put spikes. Well, or put see how it goes on the situation, and then all ready and cover the top of the fake grass, which respectively will be very merged with the other grass, and Mikey will not notice the difference. But if something goes wrong, I'll redo it now. We'll, so to speak, we'll look at the situation. Huh? I'm starting to build a trap! Oh, I am now starting to dig a trap around his entrance, and I'm doing it around because I don't know which side he will want to enter his house from. And then, of course, after I've dug everything out, I'll start placing the spikes that I've taken from my chest, and then, of course, the entrance will go moulages. Herbs that I've taken, they work so that when you step on them, they break sharply, and someone falls through accordingly, it will be someone Mikey.
Huh?
After that, I am 100% sure that he will not be happy about it, and in any case, will want to harm me somehow, or also somehow prank me. So I have already thought about this moment, and for the sake of it, respectively, I went to the mine to get myself iron and scrapped iron blocks. Now I will just tell you why I need them so much will be, and in what I will use them specifically.
Huh?
I'm going to use them to make a huge fence around my base to keep it off the jersey just in case, and he has less chance of doing anything to it and somehow either sneaking in.
Ho-ho!
Finished making the trap! Just in case I need to widen it a bit here so that he doesn't pass by and definitely hit. So now I'll quickly dig up some more earth, put the spikes and cover it with a fake, and in principle, it's safe to assume that my trap is ready, and now just wait for Mikey's reaction. That's right, now I'm finishing it, and we'll have to step aside to hide to see Mikey fall in there, and of course laugh at him, and then watch the further action. I really hope I've got it right and it works. The main thing I'm worried about is that Mikey might see it all and my prank won't work, but let's hope it does.
Huh?
It seems like I want to say that everything is ready, but in order to make it work, I still need to refine it. Because every time I stop and think that it's the end, I see that I need to finish somewhere else, so it happened with this moment, where now I expanded a little bit more to make it exactly hit, and all such I have all worked. Ho-ho! Now it's definitely done. Now it's time to go somewhere in the corner where I can't be seen and watch Mikey fall in. Although now I'm thinking that maybe he's inside his base, so it's all right. I've moved away and we're watching because he's going to turn up soon.
Huh?
There he is. I can hear him coming up. Here he comes. He's going to run and fall. Look! Ho-ho! My trap worked.
So while I was in my base, you secretly built a trap here. It won't just go away. Wait for me to come and get back at you very hard.
Ho-ho! I'm still waiting for him to come to them for revenge. I'm going to fortify the base defenses. Ho-ho! I thought about it and decided that it is not necessary to strengthen my base, namely the water base, so that it would be as secure as possible and no one could get to me and there would be only one entrance that I could control. So now I take all the resources that I have got and rather move out to arrange everything to make it as strong as possible.
Huh?
To build all the defense, I will need quite a lot of resources. Just you noticed how much I took them from my chests. And this, I think, even may not be enough, but like I calculated everything correctly, and I should be enough all these resources to build a defense around my water phase. My water base is quite good, but in principle, it lacks the main thing is the protection, so to speak. Big boards around it, that and now, and we'll build. Ho-ho! I'm starting to build a defense! I can also say that I really still quite long and tedious to build this defense because the water base I have quite wide and large and accordingly around it need to build the same large defense and preferably high and deep. Deep is necessary to ensure that no one cannot swim from below and me not to attack, and high, that accordingly no one cannot climb over it from above, so I will try to build it as soon as possible. To me, it did not take me a very long time. At the moment, I decided to start by building initially the contour around which will be, so to speak, located my defense of my water base. You can notice that slowly I lay it, and then already in the next times, I will, on the contrary, increase its height. So it will be high and no one can get through. And in addition, I use a very strong block that breaks in the water very hard because he knows very well that underwater very hard to break any blocks. So I thought I will succeed, I will finish it. Ho-ho! I've only finished a small part of it. That's right. And this small part was just the contour I was talking about now. I have closed it, and now I am slowly starting to make higher and higher self-protection so that no one, as I have already said many times, no one can get through. and I will be leveling it according to the height of the Earth, which is exactly at the Earth I just had it. Even banal on this small contour, I have taken quite a lot of blocks, but in principle, and not terrible, I have in reserve still quite a lot. And I can use them all because they were extracted in order to go completely in defense, so I do not worry about them. Also, by the way, I would like to add in the moment, because of what I will take so long to build this defense. Also in this factor can be taken into account that I built in the water. And in the water, you need to be as careful as possible because every time when I put blocks, because they are still underwater, I hold my breath, and accordingly, it is the same time. But if you consider the moment that if I would build would be on land, of course I would do it much faster. But here, because of the water, everything is very much goes longer than usual. And because of this, you have to sacrifice a lot of time, but nothing terrible. I still have a lot of work to do. Oh, if you still think about the volume that I want to build, and it is really very, so to speak, colossal. After all, I have a very large area that will need to build up, and accordingly, I have a lot of blocks, which I also need to somehow spend. After all, I try to spend all. To my defense was very strong and reliable, so that, in any case, it will help and save me, so I do not need to stop. Because you still takes a lot of time and still focus, and to finish the construction, and then already decide what to do next, because in fact, there are still a lot of things to do. But you need to focus so far only on this construction. But also, do not forget about a lot of things that may be. I'm already a little tired. Something. By the way, yes, for this small period of time, while I am building a bridge, naturally has not yet completed all the construction that I planned, I am already slowly leaving strength because it is really very hard. Because I basically jump back and forth to put a block to rise, then, accordingly, carry all these blocks, then constantly in the water and on land, I am already all soaked through. And accordingly, all these factors affect me, and accordingly, on my fatigue. But I still keep in my head this thought that in any case, should not stop or make some kind of a break. It's quite hard. And it's very hard on me. I'm really already almost powerless. But I don't plan to stop in any case, and with a probability of 100%, I will finish this case. And I will be as calm as possible because I will have a very good defense of my water base. And it will be accordingly much better because I will have only one entrance. And I don't think that someone is going to enter through another place because it's unreal to get through there. And therefore, I will control always only one entrance, which will be at the Earth. I finished one side. Well, in principle, it can be considered completely finished. And this is a small example of what I wanted to do. But of course, it sounds very good. But if you look at how much work I still have left, it's a lot. But it's okay. I just do not put my hands down, and as long as the case turns out, I do not stop and continue to do. And by the way, about the height that I said can see it now, purely on one wall, it is quite high, and worry that someone will clean up over the top of it. Do not need to. So you can be as calm as possible for this moment. There's not much left. Indeed, I have a little bit left. But I also hold on and try to continue to build again and again to build. And by the way, I forgot to tell about the block with which I build this entire building. Namely, I use iron, but not simple, but which is made into a block, a single whole block. Also, you can see how much of it is ordinary. Iron can be mined in the cave. There is basically a lot of it, but to mine it, you need at least a stone pickaxe, because to the usual wooden will not be able to mine well. And accordingly, iron diamond, you can, and mine iron after that, it needs to be moved. I remember that this block, it is painted quite simply. We need a workbench for this, and accordingly, the ingots of iron that we extracted in the mine, and accordingly, which we melted in the furnace or in the smelter, there is no difference. But as I know that in the smelter, much faster, everything is re-melted than in the furnace. But that's not the point. Also, then we take all the iron we have and put exactly 9 pieces in the workbench, and thus we get a block of iron that we needed so much, And now it is exactly what I am building. And so we do it very many times for all the iron we have, about the same way I did. And here, I got such a large number of iron blocks. Oh, I'm almost at the finish line. Huh? Also, let's not forget that I spent a lot of energy when I was in the mine, because I mined quite a lot of iron in order for me to get respectively so many iron blocks that you now see, and respectively that I am now spending on the whole defense, or rather this high huge wall that will protect my water base. But I just now went home to get a gun so that if Mikey attacked me, I could fight back. Because even now, while I was just picking up the gun, I can already feel that he is somewhere near. If suddenly I see him, I immediately open fire on him. Here he comes. I'm starting to shoot. Oh, I think he doesn't stand a chance against me because in any duel I win, I won't lose to you. Oh, look how he is running and afraid because I realize that he has already lost. But somehow, he is not backing down, I think, a little more, and he will start running away from me. Well, as I said, he has no chance because he cannot do anything to me. He started to run away from me. It was basically expected, and you can say victory for me. Oh, hi, JJ. And so ended my wonderful adventure.